from a leadership side, have you had any challenges in, or changes, I should say, in how you go about leading a remote team versus meeting in the office? How is it different now versus a few weeks ago?
A lot of figuring it out on the fly. So I will say this: most of our supervisors have some element of thinking about remote workers already, right? And so it wasn't a foreign concept to them. They didn't start from zero. They started from just a few paces forward. Managers have had to learn how to communicate differently. It's probably the biggest thing that I see. It's requiring a lot more effort on the manager's part to make contact and stay engaged with their staff. So they're having to pull together meetings that they wouldn't normally do, like let's just have a call at 10 o'clock every day, let's touch in at 3 o'clock every day, whatever we need to do. And then individual reach outs on top of that, just to hear that voice. You need to have a touch point. You need to see somebody. You need to hear them in order to have a center to your purpose of remembering what you're there to do, right? People can be self-sustaining a lot. People are strong, and they can find their own motivation, and they can find a way to do the things that they need to do. But they still need reassurance, and they still need to know that they're part of a bigger purpose. And so that takes the touch points and takes communication. There was a point last week where somebody called me out because I hadn't done a communication timely like I should have. And I really appreciated that because, I get wrapped up in my own world and my own priorities and my own things I have to get done. But I have to stop and think, there are other people in this equation that need this more than I do. And so I have to make it happen. Every manager is facing that same question. Mike, I don't know, from a manager standpoint, chime in and talk about what you've done.
It's different for each one. There's some people where, I'll jump on, say a FaceTime call just to see a person. Some people are texters or, some other kind of a chat. I do know that, as Kim said, kind of learning on the fly, we had teams deployed, I'd say level one, just, basic stuff. But it's been important, that's a program that's been important for us because when we get together, as a group, management group, sometimes we'll use, PowerPoint presentations, things like that. How do we share quick information that we've got to make pretty quick decisions on in this kind of an environment? And, I'll say, okay, we're going to screen share in Teams, and maybe not everybody has done that before, so we'll just take a little bit extra time and we just play with it. Try this, try that, and that experience that's been good. And we've been able to try to keep the information flowing so we can make decisions timely. In terms of like culture, motivation, things like that, we've got a group that is really kind of in charge of the culture of the organization, and it's made up of a pretty diverse group of people. And, it's still, we're trying to do business as usual, even though we're not in the same place. And so, this week we've been doing kind of a spirit week. And, just by continuing to do that, we would have done that anyway had we been on site. Well, it's important that we continue to do that. And it was also an opportunity for us to kind of bridge the people that may be working remotely with the people that maybe still be working on site. And I know that's a challenge that you guys face too, is how do you bring that group together? And we were thrown apart in a very short period of time. And so it's very important that you bring it all back. So, you know what, we turn the camera on ourselves and, hey, selfie where you're at, what you're doing. Today is your not favorite team, but, it's Spirit Week. So, what are you passionate about? And so, we're getting pictures of animals, we're getting pictures of kids, we're getting inspirational quotes, things like that go a long way towards keeping everybody connected together.